So I'm gonna go ahead and start here. So welcome, guys, to the first ever Cheapster Show live stream. So I know it's real original, the Cheapster Show. I don't know how I come up with these names. It's just real original. But anyway, this is the first live stream I've ever done. Obviously, as you're seeing here, trying to figure all this stuff out. I just spent like the past 2-3 days like just trying to figure out how you live stream. I thought it would be so easy. I thought it was like, okay, everyone, you can just like you FaceTime with people. It's got to be easy. You just live stream it, just goes straight there, and everyone watches it, right? No, it's very hard. I went through like I had a camera that I was going to use to live stream, so it was going to be better quality than this. And apparently it won't work. And then my computer was too old. And then I found another method that was going to work, but that wouldn't work. So if you ever think about live streaming, man, it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But it looks like we've got things figured out now. It's not the best. I think I'm going to try to figure some stuff out as I go with the show every week. Trying to make it a little bit better. Try to find some things that are gonna fix the stream quality, make it better, make it not so glitchy and stuff. But hopefully, it's coming through enough that you guys can see everything today. So, starting off today, we're going to be talking about what this show basically is. I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the weekly news, financial news, just some of the money happenings around the world or in the country, probably mostly in the U.S. But it could be wherever. If there's interesting news, I'll talk about it. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about some of the news that's happening, and then some of the discounts and things that you guys can get. I think my mic might be clipping. Let me bring that down a little bit. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about some of the. Sorry, I'm too excited. I'm just clipping the mic out. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about some discounts and some freebies and stuff that you guys can get every week. So I'm gonna come up with new discounts and freebies that you guys can get if you watch the show. That's always gonna be updated from week to week. So getting started off here, we have got a news story from Sky News talking about a speeding driver, and this guy is going to make the Cheapster list for the week because this guy. He had the right idea, but he just didn't follow through correctly. He didn't really use his math skills to figure this out. But this says a speeding driver told police that he broke a virus lockdown to drive 120 miles for some cheap bread. So if you go down and we read the story, actually what it was a guy was caught driving 110 miles per hour because he wanted to go to London because London was selling the bread for a pound cheaper. 1 pound cheaper. I can totally understand this guy. Like I would drive pretty far to get some savings, but the thing you have to realize here is he was only saving a pound. It says that he was driving more than 120 miles. That's just crazy. Driving 120 miles to save a pound. So I think this guy may actually be moving into the cheapskates category. He might not be in the cheapster category, but you know what? It's honorable. He was trying to save money. He just, kind of missed where the math was there that saving a pound was not really going to get him that, and he got a $60 or 60-pound fine. So yeah, he didn't really end up saving money. So that's our first story of the week. And our second story of the week is that there is a bakery, a Finnish bakery, that is taking this whole, I can't say the word because YouTube doesn't let you say it, but we all know what's happening right now. They're taking this thing that's happening, trying to make the best out of it. So they are making novelty toilet paper rolls. So they're actually making their cakes into toilet paper, not to be used. Don't be confused here. This is not you buy the cake and you use it as toilet paper. This is just supposed to be funny. So they're making toilet paper roll cakes. So pretty good. I really actually like this story a lot because it's about these people who were actually facing some tough times. Their bakery was not making as much money during this time, so they were trying to find ways that they could make more money. And this was a great idea. They said that this actually lifted their sales up a ton, and they were able to sell a lot more of these cakes and be able to make money. So that's, I think, great. I think that's awesome that these people were able to do this and find a way to make the best out of the situations that we're in right now. And I would say that they use the principle of when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And I think those might be lemons right there. Yeah, so they're literally just using lemons to make lemons. But yeah, so they are doing some pretty smart things. Pretty cool. So that is the funny news that has happened this week that I found. So we're gonna move on to um, the free weekly tip. So this is one of the free weekly tips that you guys can get. Dickey's. If you know Dickey's, it's a barbecue place. They are doing a free pit pulled pork sandwich, and it's up to a $7 value. This is through April 30th at participating Dickey locations. So it might not be at your location. I think from what I could check, these seem to be. It was at most locations, maybe locations like New York City and LA. I know they usually kind of follow different rules, but for most locations, I think this is going to be a free sandwich if you use the promo code here, stay home for free barbecue. So you got to use that at the checkout, and I think they said that they're doing free delivery too. So you can get a free sandwich. I'm sure you have to spend something to get the free delivery, but still, you get a free sandwich. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And this is per person, obviously, so you could go and get more than one. So you can get a free meal. Just pretty awesome to see that. So that is our freebie of the week. And then moving on to some of the financial news that is happening right now. We've got the stimulus check. So if you're from the US and you know what's happening right now, the stimulus check is what everyone's been talking about. If you're in the class of, I think, 75,000 or less, if you make that for an individual, um, actually, today, this changed just today. I got one of my friends told me last night that they actually got their check in their bank account. And then today, I actually got mine and my wife's. We actually got our stimulus payment. So, pretty cool to just have money in our account. It was nice waking up to just some free money in the account. But yeah, so this is just some stuff. I guess now it's kind of changed what this news was because I was going to talk about we don't really know when they're coming. As far as I could tell, it was pretty difficult to see like when people thought they were coming. Now you might not have gotten your stimulus check yet if you're supposed to get it. Um, and that could be for a few reasons. One is because I think they didn't send them all right now. I think it's kind of like there's two uh, groups that they're kind of sending them out to. So if you didn't get it yet, it might just be that you're getting it later. But yeah, let's first start off by talking about this. If you don't know, you have to have the an income adjusted gross income of below 75,000 or 150,000 for a married couple. It gets a little more confusing than that, but for most people, you can kind of just use that as your idea of what you should be able, if you're going to get it or not. And then after that, you can still get a part of it, but you won't get the full amount up to a certain point, then you won't get anything. But yeah, that's the stimulus check right now. So here's some information. You can kind of look down this of what you could get if you were at these certain AGI levels. But yeah, something else to talk about too with this. I was a little confused. It was a little hard to find the information about college students and people who were dependents. And as far as I could find, you will not get the money if you are a dependent of somebody unless you are 17 or younger. So if you're over 17, you're a dependent, you don't get any of the money. Sorry. It seems a little funny to me that even the person who takes care of the dependent doesn't get the money. It seems kind of strange that they do it that way, but as far as I could tell, it seems like that is the way that they're going to do it. But this is one of the things I want to talk about here is how they're going to pay you. I didn't know this, and I think this has been kind of news to people that I had no idea this is what the plan was. So the way that they're paying you is the last time that you filed a tax return. That is what the bank account that they put the refund into. If you still have that on file, that's still your bank account. That is what you will actually get your money sent to. So that's what happened to me. It just came into my savings account, just randomly, suddenly was there. Um, but if you have changed your bank account, then that could change everything for you because that might mean that you're actually going to get a check by mail and not through your bank account because they won't be able to know that that's you for sure. So, yeah, there's the stuff about the college student. And then I guess if you owe child support, you're not going to get the money. So I'm sorry about that, but if you owe child support, you're not getting the money. So yeah, that is the information on that. So hopefully you guys, most of you guys, got your check today. I was, or not check, but your deposit. It was nice getting it, and hopefully a lot of you guys got it. So searching the news for during this time, it has been difficult because I was trying to find some, upbeat news, try to keep things a little more happy because everything is so depressing right now. Everything is like bad news. The news sources all just want to talk about how bad everything is. So that's been like, it was kind of hard, but I did find this, and this is something that is awesome that we should all be excited about, that the gas prices have fallen so much. And I actually, the lowest I've gotten gas recently was 144, and that is just insane. Like that was just at a gas station that wasn't like with discounts. Actually, I think there was a 5 cent discount that I was using or something. So maybe it was 1.49. But apparently, gas prices have dropped down to 93 cents. A station in Cleveland, Ohio. That's my home. Had dropped down to 94. Not Cleveland. It's Columbus, but 94 cents in Cleveland, which is just that's just astounding. I can't even imagine seeing a gas price that says it's below a dollar. I think I remember one time when I was like a kid, like 8 or 9 or something, that I saw gas that was below a dollar, but I cannot remember much that it's been a dollar. I remember seeing $4 at one point. So going down to this price is just crazy. But yeah, apparently Kentucky, they said, took the crown, and they had a price for 93 cents a gallon. So that is just insane. I can't believe that gas is that cheap, but where are we going to go right now with the cheap gas? That's the problem. There's nowhere to go, and that's kind of why the price is dropping. It has to do with some other stuff that's happening right now too. But yeah, we're not really driving anywhere. I know I haven't even put gas in my car in quite a while, and I just looked at it today, and it still has half a tank. So, and it's a Honda Civic, so that thing is going to just drive forever. I'm never going to need gas. So, pretty awesome to have the gas prices that cheap. Really cool. But okay, so that is the news for the week. Those are kind of some of the news stories I found. Again, it's kind of like I tried to find a little more upbeat news. A lot of the news right now is just bad, and obviously, a lot of people know kind of what's going on with most things. Because guess what? We're all just at home doing nothing, so there really isn't a lot of news right now outside of what's happening. So yeah, so then we're going to actually be jumping right into the deals of the week. And this is where we've got a lot to talk about because during this time, so many companies have to change things. They have to do discounts. They have to find ways to bring people in. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that is just going on right now that you could save money on. So one of the first ones I want to start with that's really exciting because I actually have Geico. If you have Geico, as far as I can understand here, it's slightly confusing because it talks about when your policy is going to come. But it looks like to me it's saying that you're going to get 15% off your next full term policy. That's what it says here for your next full term policy. Um, so that's pretty awesome. I guess they're just going to do that. I got an email about it because I have Geico, so I was excited to see that. So that's pretty big. I know so many people have Geico for things, and I think it's just for your car, and I think it said boats and motorcycles and stuff. So I don't, yeah, right here, 15% through auto, motorcycle, and RV. So that's pretty awesome that Geico is stepping up to do that for people. I was kind of thinking about it and thinking, maybe it's partly too because Geico is probably not having as much work. They've actually probably got a little bit more money to go around. So they're giving back, it seems like, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate that companies are willing to do something to help people during this time because it's a hard time. So it's really great to see companies do that. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is if you are a nurse or a medical professional. This is pretty big. You can go to this website. I will post it in the description after this video goes up after the live stream. It is registerednursing.org. And they have a whole list of freebies during this time for medical professionals. And it is just insane. I mean, you've got a whole list of just travel things, food, different types of services. This list, I can seriously just scroll and scroll and scroll, and this thing goes on for so long. And a lot of it is like either like free meals or discounts. Like this says, Lovesac is offering 40% off sacks and sectionals to nurses. That's pretty huge, 40% off, just a whole bunch of different things. So I would say if you are a medical professional, definitely go through this list, see if there are things that you can find that are going to be able to save you money, because there should definitely be some things that you can find on this list. And then some things I do want to point out on this list is some of the best ones are Krispy Kreme is actually giving out dozen donuts to healthcare. Let's see. Krispy Kreme will provide all healthcare workers with free dozens of our iconic glazed donuts. And as far as I could tell, I mean it's supposed to be 1 dozen per like worker, but I think what they said is you can actually pick up a ton of free dozens if you're bringing them like to work. Yeah, limit up to 5 dozen per healthcare worker. due to varying production capabilities. That is a lot. That is a lot of donuts. That's 60 donuts. So I think that is super generous of them to be able to do that for people. And it's just a cool thing that you could actually go pick that up. Maybe you work in a small office, you could pick those up, bring those in for people. I think that's okay. I think it's okay to do that, and that's not going to be a a problem with spreading anything touching it. But yeah, I think this is just awesome that Krispy Kreme is doing this, and it's just free for people. And this is one of those things too that it is free. It's not like you have to buy something and then you get it for free. So it's really cool to see that they're doing that. And then another company that is doing something cool is White Castle is offering free daily meals for healthcare workers. So this is through the entire month of April. They're doing this. By the way, the Krispy Kreme one is March 25th. That's when they sent this out. So this is going through, let's see, through Nurses Week, through the end of it. Oh, I did miss one fact about this. This is Mondays, I think. It's only Mondays that they do this. It's not every day. So Mondays is when you want to do it. And it is through May 12th, I'm pretty sure is what they're saying. So that is a long time frame to be able to get free donuts. So pretty awesome that you can get that. But yeah, so back to White Castles. This is daily that they're giving out stuff. So this is pretty crazy. Offering totally free meals to healthcare workers through the month of April. All you have to do is show up with your ID. The same thing with the Krispy Kreme. You show up here with your ID. I think all the ones that are for those nurses stuff, you just have to show your ID. And it says you'll get one free combo meal. So that is just awesome that they're doing that. That they're giving out free combo meals. Every day. It kind of blows my mind that they're able to do that every single day. But yeah, so you can get free White Castles. I know White Castles is kind of a, some people like it, some people don't. I actually don't even know how I feel about it. Sometimes I think I like it, sometimes I think it's disgusting. But, when it's free, it's free. So I have noticed that here, the free things are not going to be too healthy for you. So you might want to be careful. Don't be getting Krispy Kreme donuts and eating a dozen every Monday and then getting White Castles every single day and just be getting all nice and fat while you're sitting at home in quarantine. That's probably not what you want. So moving on, Starbucks also is doing a free coffee during this time. They are doing a tall brewed coffee, hot or iced at no charge, starting today, which was, I don't know when this was, but it's through May 3rd. So they're doing this for quite a while too. It's nice that they're doing this. And this one says that it is for uh, frontline responders, or for, it says like people who are, let me find it. Particularly responders at the front line. Oh, never mind. That's not it. But anyway, it says that it's for people who are in the front lines. So this one isn't just like for nurses and medical professionals. It also said like policemen, firefighters, other things like that that they consider the front line. It did seem like they were actually a little bit lenient on that, from what I could find. That you could show up and you don't want to lie about it, but if you are in something that is a frontline kind of response to this, then you should be able to go get free coffee. Um, just another cool thing that a company is doing to give out free coffee to people. Got to have that coffee to get started. So, yeah, pretty cool there. And then moving on, Olive Garden is doing probably one of the best deals I've seen. That's not a free deal. They're doing a buy one take one at $12.99. So that is for two meals. So that's pretty awesome because that's $6.50 for each meal. Pretty cool that they're doing that. That really can save you a lot of money. That's just awesome. So here's what you get. It says you get your first entree, a super salad, breadsticks, and a second entree. So pretty cool. You can choose different options here. These are all the options. But yeah, I think that is a great discount that's going on right now during this time. Really cool that Olive Garden is doing that. Another thing that we got is Wendy's is doing, if it'll load, is doing a free breakfast baconator with any mobile order breakfast purchase. This is a big sandwich too. Like, this is a lot of food for free. it's awesome that they're doing that. So that's any mobile order. I know that Wendy's, they gotta feel bad for them. They did not pick the best time to unleash their breakfast. It's just gotta be hard on them. So yeah, I think they're trying to kind of get their breakfast out there as well as help some people out during this time. So pretty cool to see that they're doing that. So you can go ahead and get your free breakfast Baconator. I've really wondered what this thing tastes like. I love the Baconator. I don't get it very often, but I love the Baconator. I'm glad I don't get it very often because it's probably so bad for you. But this looks interesting. It's like sausage and egg and bacon. It's like everything that just tastes so good in the morning, all wrapped up in one. So I would like to try it sometime. I definitely think we'll get it for free at some point during this time. So yeah, then we also have another great deal happening right now is Buffalo Wild Wings is doing BOGO Boneless Thursdays, and they are doing BOGO Wing Tuesdays. So those are bone in and then boneless on Thursdays. So Tuesday and Thursday you can get some type of BOGO deal at Buffalo Wild Wings. Pretty great because we all know Buffalo Wild Wings can be a little bit pricey. It's a little hard to not spend too much when you're there. So this is a great time to be able to get Buffalo Wild Wings. We actually just got it the other day because we don't go there very much because it is a little pricey. So it was pretty cool to be able to get it and then get the buy one get one free to make it be a pretty good price. So yeah, check that out. And then another one, I was pretty excited about this one because I actually had just been saying to Elizabeth, I'm actually going to scroll down because I don't know if that's copyrighted stuff that's playing, and it might also make the stream slow. But I was actually just saying to my wife Elizabeth that it would be great right now to just throw on some show that's like on and just or some like game that had already played and then just like watch it that we don't even know what's happened because it can just be like, oh yeah, you're watching a game still even though they're not happening. If it's something you don't remember, then you can just root for it and kind of have fun like you're watching it anyway. So I think we'll probably do that because this is saying that the Verizon NFL offer you complimentary access to NFL Game Pass until 5/31, so that's May 31st, and that is pretty awesome. I think this is just for anyone. I don't think you have to have Verizon, as far as I know. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's just for anybody that wants to get it. So I would definitely recommend getting that right now. That is just some free stuff that you could just watch some old games and stuff, maybe catch up on stuff. I know we didn't even watch the Super Bowl this last year because I think we were traveling from somewhere and we didn't have time. We had to be back for something and we missed it. So that was disappointing. But now I think we're just going to watch it. I do know who won, but I kind of forget like anything that happened with it. So we could watch it and actually pretend like we were watching a Super Bowl. So that is a cool thing to have right now. I'm really happy that the NFL is doing that right now when there's really nothing going on. I think I heard that they were showing like a spelling bee on ESPN or something the other day, like an old one from like 3 years ago or something. So they do not have any content right now to show for. It's got to be hard because they have so many channels to show all the updates and all the stuff that's happening with the sports, and now with nothing going on, it's got to be like, what are they doing? So glad that they're doing that. Glad that we can have some sports to watch because I'm a big football fan, and I'm getting ready to watch some football. And I don't know if it's going to be coming this year. I don't know if they're going to cancel the whole season or what. But this is great to have this, so you could maybe just watch a whole season. If it doesn't come back and we end up not being able to watch football this year, you could just pick a season that you don't really remember what happened and just watch through it, watch your team every week and pretend like you're watching a season. I think we're going to have to do some stuff like that this year until things kind of get back to normal. So awesome that they're doing that. Now, another thing that I saw that was pretty cool, and I hadn't heard of this, is Netflix Party. And the way this works is it's something that you can do with your friends and family, and it'll start a video at the same time as those people, so it's like you're actually watching it together, and then it gives you a like chat box down the side so that everyone can talk together about what you're watching and things. So I thought that was pretty awesome that they're doing that. I don't know if this is something that they are doing right now because of this, or if this is something that they already had and maybe people just didn't know or didn't care until right now it matters a lot. So it does say right now it's only available on Chrome browsers and laptops and desktops. So you would have to get the Chrome browser, but of course you can get a Chrome browser on Mac or PC. So not too hard to do that. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I know Xbox, they had something like this back in the day. And I mean back in the day, like 15 years ago or maybe or something. Like back when Netflix was like small Netflix. They had something that you could actually like play with your or have your Xbox friends be watching Netflix with you. I forget what they called it, but that's almost exactly what this is. And I remember thinking that was so cool back then. And I don't think there's been anything since. I think they got rid of it. And then there wasn't really anything that you could do like that again. So it's really cool to see that this is back and that they've got this um, going. So really cool. I plan on using that. I think that'd be really fun to watch some movies with people. And also, this one is pretty awesome right now. A Final Cut, Apple Final Cut Pro X is doing a 90-day free. Um, I guess it's not even a. It is a free trial. Yeah, a free trial. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Like Final Cut Pro X is expensive. So if you're somebody who has been thinking about getting into editing, or maybe you just have an editing project that you need to do, or maybe you I don't know. You filmed something and you were going to pay somebody to do it. Well, now you can get this editing software for free and save you some money. So, pretty awesome. Or you can get started right now during this time. Maybe you've wanted to be an editor, um, and you could get started doing some editing and getting into, there's certain things that you could use your editing skills for, like, I don't know, YouTube maybe or something. So really cool that they're doing this. And I'm an Adobe guy. I'm not actually a Final Cut Pro guy. I've used it. I didn't like it as much as Adobe Premiere Pro. I checked Adobe Premiere Pro. They're just doing I think like a week. It's like their normal thing. They haven't changed it. I was hoping that Adobe might follow suit, watching Final Cut do this, and maybe they will. Maybe it'll be coming out. But yeah, right now it's just a Final Cut, but for 90 days, that is 3 months. That is awesome that they're doing that, so you can try that for that long. Really cool. I think that's probably, if you were thinking about getting into editing, this is probably one of the best deals that's going on right now, because I've never seen them do such a long trial period. So really cool that they're doing that. So that brings me then to every week I'm going to come to you guys with a new money saving app or a website or something that you could make more money on. And the website that I'm going to be showing you guys today is Rakuten. I think that's how you pronounce it. It actually used to be called Ebates. So if you've heard of Ebates, you know what Rakuten is. And this is just an amazing app, especially for right now when everyone is buying. I think probably right now, like it's easy to be cheap. Like people aren't going out and doing much. They are kind of saving more money. But one of the ways that you can lose your money very quick during this time is through online shopping, especially when like you don't have much to do. So just sitting at home and shopping is just sounds really great. I actually just got a new iPhone, not because I'm being crazy in online shopping. I've been looking for one for a long time and a good deal came around. But I gotta say, actually buying the iPhone right now was like exciting. I'm like, oh man, this is like the most exciting thing that's happened like in the last few weeks. So I can understand like shopping right now sounds very enticing online. So, first off, I would say be careful not to spend too much right now. Try to make sure that you don't lose your mind and just spend more than you should be. Even though you're saving on other areas, just try to watch that. But if you are going to be shopping online, which I think pretty much everyone is right now, Rakuten is an amazing website to use because it gives you cash back on items. It also shows you deals and stuff. It's just a really great website. I've been using it for a really long time. And they've just got some great things like this, like Groupon is 10% cash back. I know there's been times where I've gone on like a trip and I booked it through Groupon, so maybe it was a hotel booking or something. You know, maybe it was like $300 for the hotel booking for like a weekend or something going somewhere. Well, that's $30 that you get on Groupon, and there's just so many of those things where they do these deals every week. They change. So right now these are 10% cash back, which is a good like. This is a good time to use these because sometimes they are, like it says right here, was 4%, and that is true. A lot of times they are a little bit smaller. So when you see they do these big 10% cash back on other things, that is a good time to get some things and to use those deals. So I really recommend that. I have made a lot of money using Rakuten. I think it's been like maybe like $400 cash back using Rakuten, and I don't know how long I've been using it. Maybe like 3 years. And I don't shop much on. I don't shop much at all. I pretty much try to save my money. So me making $400 is a lot. Like if you're somebody who shops more, buys more from, especially from certain websites on here that might be bigger. Like maybe you're somebody who buys from Finish Line a lot. I never purchased anything from there, and they do 10% cash back a lot on this website. You might find that you could save more money than I even did. So definitely recommend this website. I think it is just an amazing website for everybody to save money. And yeah, great website. So that brings me to um, some Cheapster advice for you guys. So actually, this kind of goes into what I was just saying about the shopping right now and how people are kind of bored. So this is 7 saving habits for the word I can't say, quarantine, that should carry you for the rest of the year. Got to be careful. Yeah, so these are pretty good because it kind of talks about like how everyone's buying fewer pants and selling more tops and fewer pants. That's pretty funny. Jigsaw puzzles at the moment are selling a ton because people are all looking for things to do at home. So that is definitely true. Things have changed a lot right now. And this person kind of gives some good advice that I thought I would want to share here on things you could do. So just starting out, I guess some of my advice too would be, yeah, to try to not get into the mindset of, hey, I'm not spending this money now on entertainment, on gas. We should all be saving on gas for two reasons. One, a lot of people are driving less, so you should be saving gas then. But also, two, the gas prices have dropped so much. So there's just lots of different things that you should be saving money on, and you got to be careful not to get into this mindset of, okay, I'm saving so much money now, so on the other areas I can spend more. Because if you don't actually have those budget ideas in your mind of what amounts you really could spend, then you might just keep thinking that and keep thinking, oh, I can like spend this, I can spend this. And maybe like you're thinking, oh, this time is bad, like I'm trying to make myself feel a little bit better by buying this or doing this or whatever. um, so that's something to watch out for during this time, not getting caught up in that, trying to see if you can during this time, instead of just saying like, oh, how can I spend more to make myself feel better, maybe try to think of how you can save more, um, to help yourself in the future once this is over, so you can look back and see that actually this could have been beneficial to you in the end. I know my own personal experience, not I don't necessarily agree with everything that's happening with the stimulus checks and all that stuff. I'm not sure if I fully agree with getting it, especially for people like me. Like I wasn't actually hurt that financially because my wife is still working and we're still bringing in like a lot of the money that we were. So it hasn't changed like a ton for us. So, but what I would say is during this time, getting that money, we are using that to then pay off debts. So that's been great for us because it's helping us then move forward. So once this is over, we can look back and say, hey, this was actually beneficial for us because we were able to pay this stuff off. Um, Really cool with that. And then I don't know if you guys know, this is probably something I should have talked about too. This is kind of old news, but if you don't know, if you have federal student loans, they should be having 0% interest right now. And actually, they just changed it so you don't even have to make your minimum payments anymore. And if you I would not recommend, when I say that, I do not recommend that you stop making your minimum payments, except for a reason that I did was because we actually took our minimum payments from those student loans and moved them over to other loans that still have interest on them. But that's been great for us. I hope that's been great for you guys. If you have any of those loans, getting especially the 0% interest is just amazing to be able to not have to pay any interest during this time. It can really help you pay off your principal quicker. Maybe like if your earning hasn't really changed, maybe this can be a time that actually helps you get out of debt, and that can be something that's used for the good. Yeah, it's just about to like trying to find ways that you can use this time instead of it being a terrible time and feeling like really bored and wanting to spend money on certain things, trying to use it as a time that you're actually moving forward. So once we come out of this, you can look back and say, hey, I was able to do this during this time, and now it's made my life so much better. So that's just what my recommendation would be. So back to this article. The first thing that this person talks about is ditching subscription boxes. Now, I would already say don't have subscription boxes in the first place, unless it's something that somehow is like really benefiting you or helping you save money. But usually, I would say subscription boxes are just going to eat into what you're spending. Unless it's really something that like you have the money for it, then fine. If you have the money for it and it's what you want to do, that is fine. But if you're somebody who is trying to save more money and get out of debt, a subscription box or any kind of subscription is just not going to be good, because it's just another thing that comes out every month or whatever. To take away your money, and we've got enough of that. I'm sure you've got enough of that too, with rent and utilities and all the other things that we have to pay for. So just adding to that is just not a great idea. So this person talks about cutting those subscription boxes, and she's talking about like makeup boxes, like especially right now with those kind of things. If it's something that you have a subscription for that is just kind of wasted right now, then cut it off, because there's no reason to keep it. Um, I guess you could say if you are worried about the company, or you really appreciate the company and you want them to be able to have your money during this time, then I guess that is maybe a reason that you could keep them. But if you're trying to get out of debt and stuff, and you're not really in a good financial position, then don't, just cut them off. Stop doing the things that you are spending extra money on right now. Plum Doggy asks, "Who is that girl?" This girl is Sarah Wilson. She is the budget girl. Says it's time to take a sharp look at all expenses. I think it said that she is a personal finance blogger. Oh no, that's Jessica Byrne. I think she just wrote this article or was interviewed for the article. Sorry, I'm not exactly sure. I think she's the one that's being interviewed about this. So she's the one that's saying this stuff. So that is her. Um, Now number two, this is something. Again, these are all kind of things that I would recommend, not even just during this time, but things I would try to recommend getting into maybe some habits during this time where you're trying to be more frugal. Because if you can get into the habit now, when things kind of go back to normal, uh, you can really kind of hold those habits a lot better and be able to save more money, be able to have more money. And this is one that I really like. Go on Frugal Dates, and that is a pretty important one, because I think a lot of people end up spending their money, especially like married couples or people that are in relationships, or people who are just dating. Actually, that might be the worst of all, because if you're trying to impress somebody, then maybe you're spending even more money on your dates. But I know for like me and my wife, we like to go out and have a date night every week, so that can get really expensive if you're spending a lot of money while you're out. um, so going on Frugal Dates is definitely a good thing to do. I know something that we've done on our channel is we did a Dollar Tree date night, and it was awesome. It actually ended up being like really fun. We just went to the Dollar Tree. We both had $5 to spend on each other, and we spent it and then came back and showed each other the stuff that we got. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's Dollar Tree Cheap Dates. From the Cheapster. It was a really fun time. Like we did it for the video, but it actually ended up being like it was way more fun than just like for the video. Like I would do it again even without doing the video. So super cool to do some frugal dates and stuff. Try to kind of come up with things that you can do right now that are just cheaper. And then once things go back to normal where you could go out, maybe try to keep some of those. And it doesn't have to be that you cut all your dates and everything is a frugal date. You don't get to do anything again. But it can be good. Like if you're somebody like me who goes out once a week or maybe even more to go on dates, maybe you start making some of those dates more of a frugal date, and that can really help you save money there. And then three, planning meals. This is one that I'm a big proponent of. We actually just started planning our meals like 2 months ago or something. It's been pretty recent, and that's because I always thought of it in terms of, okay, if you plan the meals, like, you're kind of going to plan all these things out, and you might end up spending more when you go to the grocery store, because now you're buying for all these meals and it's going to be expensive. And It's much better just to go to the store and just buy some ingredients and then probably forget stuff, but you spend less. That's kind of how my thinking was, and it's pretty dumb because I realized later that when we actually did that, a lot of times what we do in the store is just throw stuff into the cart and think, okay, well, we might need this down the road, so throw it in, and then maybe we don't use it for months. But it actually ended up being much better when we finally started to plan our meals. And of course, this has to be within reason. You can't be like, okay, I'm gonna have lobster dinner on Wednesday, steak dinner on Thursday. Like you can't do that. I mean, unless you have the money for it, fine. But that's not gonna help you save usually. You've got to be able to get uh, cheaper meals together. But we did this. We planned out 2 weeks of meals, put it together, and we pretty much just shop at Aldi. And I think we spent like $85, and those meals lasted even longer than the 2 weeks. And it wasn't just meals that we bought. I mean, we bought snacks and other things too. So it was crazy. I think we didn't have to go to the grocery store for like another month. So the food lasted us about a month, and it was like $85, which blew my mind because we always spent way more than that. And we eat kind of maybe some cheaper foods like tacos and my wife is British, so we have bangers, beans, and mash, and curry, things that are like maybe a little bit more cheaper to make. But it was pretty awesome that we were able to do that. So I definitely recommend. I'm always somebody who says plan out your meals because it really helped us a ton to be able to do that. And yeah, definitely recommend it. If you've never done it, give it a try because I think you'll be shocked. How much money you can save, unless you're somebody who just goes to the grocery store and buys like a bag of rice, and that's just what you end up eating because you don't plan your meals. Maybe you'll beat us and you actually save more money. But for the most part, you're gonna be able to save more money this way. So it's a good thing to have there. So clothing cutbacks. This is a big one too right now. I know my wife, she's actually working from home and doesn't have to. I don't think she does anything on video, so she can just wear whatever she wants. So, and she works in like a more professional environment, so she would normally have to wear nicer clothes and stuff. But now it's like, who cares? So if you're in that boat where it's like, what does it matter now? You're working from home. You don't have to keep up with the clothes and stuff. Keeping up with having new things to wear. I mean, I've been wearing really nice clothes every day. I don't do that, but no, I've been wearing like sometimes the same shirts like 2 days in a row because it's almost like why right now, like we're all not going out a lot, so you're not really seeing anybody. So I think that this is a great thing right now. We don't really have to care about keeping up with the appearances at this point. I mean, don't spiral into a like pigsty of you haven't changed your clothes in a week and everything's ripped up and who cares? Like you still want to keep your sanity, get dressed every day and keep your sanity. But right now is definitely a good time to think about being able to just not have to spend the money on the clothes. And who knows how long this is going to go on. So we don't need to keep worrying about that stuff. And I think for a lot of people, that can be a very big expense. I know a lot of people, clothing is one of their biggest expenses. Um, I'm a guy, so that blows my mind because I wear shirts from like American Eagle discounts, Goodwill, like, all those kind of places I can get the best prices on clothes. I really don't care. And I wear them until my wife says, okay, time to stop wearing that. Then I stop wearing it. So I don't fully understand that, but I know a lot of people spend a lot of their money on clothes. So this is a really good time to just cut back on that and to dress dress easier. I mean, just relax during this time. If you're working from home, there's no point in stressing yourself out with stuff. Just wear some nice, comfy clothes and enjoy it. So another thing they say too is raise some cash. This is a big thing too that I would say a lot of people are bored at home trying to find things to do, just not knowing what to do. And I think all of us can say that there is something in our closet or attic or basement or whatever it is that we don't need, that we need to sell. So this is a great time to say, okay, now I should finally get into that and find some of those items to separate. So my recommendation would be to get the box out, get a box out, and then just put things in it that you want to sell, and then sell on eBay. I'm an eBay seller, so I love selling on eBay. I think it's great. Shipping can be a little expensive for certain things, but if you have things that are actually worth something, it's great. But you could also use like Facebook groups. I know that's a little bit strange right now during this time because a lot of people might not be wanting to pick things up. but it seems like people still are, especially actually when there are stores closing down and stuff, and it's harder if you have, especially like a neighborhood group or something. People might be actually more willing to come get it because they're like, okay, I can just drive down the street or walk down the street, pick it up, and come home instead of having to be out, go to Walmart, like, and get something I need. So that can be a good time to do that. But yeah, so definitely checking on some of the things that you can sell, make more money during this time. Again, that takes it right back to the beginning where I said try to use this time as a good time to be able to make more money or save more money or do something that is going to change your life for the better once this is all over, that you really can feel like it's actually been a good time for you even though it's such a bad time. It's about changing the attitude and trying to find a way to make this a good time. They also talk about shopping around, which I think this is just a no-brainer. If you're somebody who doesn't shop around, then you should just shop around. Like there's so many different places for better prices, and they're kind of talking about too, like insurance carriers, internet, cell phone, things like that. But everyone is online right now, so shopping around, I guess, is easier because you're not just going into a store picking it up. Like everyone is having to shop online to get stuff. So what's the point of paying something higher if you could find it at a better price? And this kind of goes back to the whole Geico thing. It's giving 15%. That's on new policies too. So if you want to look into changing your car insurance policy, if you don't have Geico, um, I would recommend probably calling your insurance company first to see if they could do something before you just switch, because a lot of times they'll probably just say, yeah, we can lower it, especially during right now when times are kind of tough for companies. They may just lower it anyway for you, but check into that. If they won't, then check Geico. Maybe they'll be cheaper for you right now. It'll be 15% discount from what they used to offer. So yeah, checking around on that. And then they talk about the Amazon habit. This is not something that I actually have. Maybe partially because I'm such an eBay person. I don't actually care a ton about Amazon, which is, I know it's weird. Everyone cares so much about it. But I'm always just like, well, eBay's cheaper. So why buy it on Amazon? But sometimes Amazon is cheaper. But I know a lot of people kind of got that Amazon bug where they're always shopping. So she is talking about how you can just cut the bug a little bit, and apparently Amazon is not doing 2-day shipping right now. I didn't know that, but yeah, I guess she's saying that they're not doing 2-day shipping now. So that's kind of a thing for some people where they would buy because it's like, oh, I can't have it in 2 days. It'll be so great. Like I'll just buy it so I can have it. But you can't even do that, so it's going to come later. So she kind of talks about too filling your cart and then waiting a little bit to make sure that you need those things. And I think that's big. I have seen so many things that sell on Amazon, like that just are insane prices that people just add them to their cart because they're like, whatever, I need it. Like, just throw it in. They're not really thinking that well about the pricing because that's just what Amazon is saying the price is. For instance, I've seen like certain deodorants and stuff that are selling for like $8 on Amazon when they actually sell at the Dollar Tree. So it's definitely, the Amazon habit is a big thing for certain people. So if that's you, if you're one of those people that has the Amazon habit, I guess try to use this time right now to kick that habit and get rid of it. But yeah, that is her list, and I think I agree with all those. I think, again, something that's really important too with this list is not just saying, okay, during this time I'm going to do this. You can start during this time, but I would recommend trying to carry the stuff over. Try to carry over being frugal and saving money, especially things that are kind of more wasteful, like I'm saying with the Amazon thing, like buying things that you could buy cheaper other places. It's just a little bit wasteful. It's really not using your money to the best that you should use it. So, yeah, I definitely recommend all these things. Definitely the biggest two that I recommend, though, is this go on Frugal Dates and plan meals. I talk about that stuff a lot in my channels. I know I have quite a few videos actually on both of these subjects. And yeah, I think these are both two things that we spend a lot of money on, and probably the clothing one between meals, food, and like going out and entertainment and clothes. Those are probably the biggest things that people spend their money on outside of rent and loans, other things like that, car. Um, so those are things to really make sure that you kind of hone in on during this time. Use this time where you might not be spending that much on those certain things to try to find ways that you can keep not spending money. Find cool new things that you like to do that are cheaper. That's just going to help you once this is all over. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I got for you guys today. That is kind of the happenings of the week and some of the discounts and stuff that are going on. Now, I think after I post this, I'm gonna try to link all the things I put in the description. I hope it'll let me put that much because I got a lot of websites here, but I'll try to link that. I'll definitely link the one about the medical professionals. I'll link the list of that so you can look through that. I think that's probably just changing all the time. So just keep looking for those and just keep on the lookout for these deals because right now, it's a tough time, but for people who are trying to save money, it's a good time. Like it is a good time for uh finding different habits and strategies to save more money, using discounts that are coming from these companies and stuff. Just try to use those things to save more money. And then at the same time, I do also want to say to try to save your money, but also remember to try to support those businesses that you care about right now. Now, I know there's a lot of companies like, big companies like McDonald's. Now, they're probably going to be fine. Of course, if nobody goes there, that's going to cause a problem, but they will probably be fine through this. But there's those smaller companies that, especially if they're companies that you like to go to, and they are probably struggling during this time if they're in a business, which most businesses are struggling right now. There's not many that aren't affected by this. So just remembering to try to still maybe give to those companies, and by give to those I mean like maybe that's you're just buying a meal once a week through them or whatever. And again, I'm saying this, it's a little hard to say this while I'm saying save money, but you've also like it's not about just saving all your money and like not spending anything. It's also a good thing right now that you can help those companies that you care about, try to make sure that you're keeping them afloat through this time. I think that's a big thing that we can all do. It's just a big part of what can help us keep the economy going, keep these businesses open and stuff until this is all over. So that's one of the things that I would recommend. But of course, don't be crazy and say I'm going to spend $100 at you know B-dubs on wings because they're going to go out of business. No, they're going to be fine, and they might not need $100 right now unless you're having a party, and I don't know. Just don't be crazy. Try to help those businesses. Try to save money right now. Try to pick up good habits. But yeah, that is what I got right now. So I thank all you guys for watching the live stream, the first Cheapster Show live stream. This will be every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, I'll always have new information about the financial news that's happening through the week and new deals, new freebie of the week. Yeah, so just make sure you're looking out for that. And just to remind you guys of the freebie this week, that was again the free Dickies pit pulled barbecue sandwich. So go out and get your free sandwich. So thank you.